Let's add a sky object, and we'll add a little bit of color to the sky, and then the sky object will affects the lighting and how the scene is illuminated. So come over to the toolbar on the right. This is the object here. Hit the drop down menu, and there's a lot of environmental things that we can add, which we'll talk about later in the course, but for now just choose sky, and then we have a sky object. No need to rename it. And let's do a render view, and you'll see that it doesn't really change it too much. That's because we have to activate something in our render settings. So again, up here in the clapboard, the render view we've been using, and render to picture viewer that exports it as a JPEG. We'll do that later. But this one, render settings, is new. So let's click on the drop-down menu, choose Edit Render Settings, and you'll want to click on Effect, and down here you'll choose Global Illumination. Once you choose Global Illumination, it'll populate here in this pane, and we have Global Illumination checked. Now what Global Illumination does is that it affects the illumination and shadows of the scene. So we can, with that checked, there's no save button or anything. You can just close that window. Now let's do render view, and you can see it takes a heck of a lot longer for it to render because it's calculating the illumination and everything else, so it'll take a bit. This is a simple scene, so it's not going to be too bad, but you can see there's a very marked difference in the illumination. It looks pretty cool. Later on, when we render this, we can adjust shadows and all that kind of stuff, but you can see like a really marked improvement to this. And in fact, I said I was going to add color to the sky. I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to keep it black and white right now. So that is that. Sky object and render settings. You should have global illumination enabled. And as a tip, whenever we're rendering stuff and we want to get a quick render, you can disable global illumination just to get a quick render to see what you got. But for now, let's just leave it check marked, enabled. And I will see you in the next video.